Pinball Expo recap, New Wave Toys announcement, a Unico fix, a GRS update, and an A1Up cancellation. Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, the show where we talk about what happened this week in home arcades. Episode 165. Everybody, what is going on? So sorry I missed you last Sunday because I was a little bit wiped out from the antics of the week before. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And then I had to get ready to go to South Carolina. And because of all the storms in the area, that trip turned out to be a lot longer than I thought. I had to drive. I needed the tools. So that was just a long week. So trying to make up for lost time in the last couple of days, trying to pump up a few videos. I have one of the cool things that I actually got was the Atari limited edition, the 1 of 2600 Super Pockets. That's a really cool little handheld. I got a video coming out about that. Look for that probably Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll drop that thing tomorrow, get it edited up and get that out to you tomorrow. And of course, there is Pinball Expo news that I wish I could have gotten to last week. That's when it kind of everybody else was putting their videos out. But I'm going to get something together for you next week, something a little more detailed. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that happened tonight. I got some videos and stuff to show you. Just a sneak peek of what everybody else has already covered. But it's going to be my perspective, and it was one of those great times. We do this thing once a year, and it was a great time to get together with the guys and meet some of you other YouTubers and people in the community. It's pretty awesome. So let's talk about something that we talk about every single night, and that's what's in the glass. Right to my right, it's going to be Maker's Mark French Oak number 46. We're going back into the Makers tonight. I got a little bit left. This is a good one. This is probably my favorite Makers. I think I've said that before. My go-to Makers. If you gotta get a Makers, this is what you want to go with. Cheers, everybody. So good to be back. So good to be back. Lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of stuff going on. I got something in my glass. Tell me what you're drinking in the comments section, the live chat. If you are over on Facebook watching the unofficially official, the officially unofficial giveaway, I understand, but try to have two screens open at the same time. But if you can't do both, come on and catch us on the replay. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. But I got to ask you to do one thing. The same thing I ask you to do every single week, and that's answer the poll question. This week is like no other. Well, this week is exactly like all the others. And we have a poll question in the live chat. Jump on over to the live chat. You see right on top, click the little button, and you're going to see the drop-down menu. And here is the simple question, which has actually been building, I think, for a while. Pinball being a big topic, a big shift in the home arcade community. A lot of YouTubers have been covering it a lot more than me. I'm still very much a pinball novice. But there's been this shift. And with all this, refocusing by these other companies on pinball, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. It's a simple question I want to pose to you because I'm not exactly sure where I fall on this. So I need your help. Answer the question. Here's the simple question. Should pinball be home arcades focus? I gave you 4 options. Obviously, one is just simply, yes, I think they should focus on pinball, real pinball, V-Pin, whatever. The second option is no, give me more 3/4 scale arcade games, whether it's Arcade 1-Up or whoever, right? The third option is going to be no, give me more XL-sized arcade games. And the fourth option is going to be no, I want more multicade cabinets. So those are your 4 options. Let me know what you think. I really want to know where everybody's kind of feeling. Is this the direction that, the hobby should go? It's not necessarily just a channel or a YouTube community. It's more of the entire community, the hobby itself, refocusing. And these things are going to happen. I think we're going to have these ebbs and flow. Things are going to pop up like 3/4 scale cabinets, like Arcade 1-Up-ish. And that's going to get some of the focus. And then it's going to shift back this way and that. So I think the tide is kind of turning towards pinball. I want to know what you think about it. 49 votes, jump in there and please let your voice be heard. Speaking of voices being heard, let's talk to the first 10 comments. First 10, not the top 10, but the first 10 comments. Everybody, I throw this show up probably around about noon. Yep, it's about noon. And then the comments start rolling in. So we got to say hi to the people that took the time to comment first. Coming in the number 1 spot is Sir Sega, the Sir of Sega. What's going on, buddy? So glad to see you. Thank you so much for being here, supporting the channel. Coming in number 2 is, or the number 2 spot is Frank D. On October 18th, I finally cleared out a work queue that had been a mess for several months after implementing a new information system. And this upcoming week is vacation. So this calls for something special. I'm opening up the Blantons I got last month. Congratulations. So you got all this stuff done. You're feeling accomplished. It's time to kick back, relax, talk some goofy stuff with a goofy guy, and drink an outstanding drink. Blanton's is definitely something, it's cause for celebration. So thank you so much for being here, buddy. Coming in the number 3 spot is Satan Spirits. What's going on, buddy? Fox, that Wolverine bucket is the best at what it does, and what it does best doesn't involve popcorn. I'm going to leave that to your imagination. If you're not sure what Satan Spirits is talking about, check out the channel. I just posted a review of a popcorn bucket. I know. Just like love, give the video a chance. Coming in the number 4 spot is Show Geckos. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Hey, Fox, great watching you guys last week. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't do too much on my channel because, let's be honest, alcohol and live streaming is never a good idea. Intoxication and alcohol and live streaming is never a good idea. Alcohol and live streaming is fine as long as it's within moderation. Nice recovery, I know. Coming in the number 5 spot is Game Broker 84. What's going on, buddy? Great to see you. Hi, Fox. Happy Sunday. Is the Pinball Expo going to get you to finally buy a real pinball, or is the AtGames pinball going to make you join the pinball crowd? Can't wait for the show tonight. Go Aggies. Sorry, mute guy. The short answer is no on the real pinball, yes on the AtGames. More details will be coming forth in a different videos. Going to kind of include some of my in-depth thoughts about that, and I think I have a different perspective than some, and I think a lot of you are in the same boat that I'm in. So I think that we can share some of this. Some of you are on the fence about it. The cost is really prohibitive for a lot of people. Even if you're super into pinball, just to be able to buy one is crazy. But I'm still a novice. I'm embracing it, of course. I've always, dabbled with pinball, never really got into it. When you got a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends that are super into it, they kind of force you into that space, and you consider things, you think about things a little bit differently. But yeah, so it's an interesting conversation to have, especially when you consider some of the new players that are coming into the scene. I think we're going to have more options, and it's not going to be just black and white anymore, real or virtual. There's going to be other things in between. Lots of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of that tonight. Thank you so much for the question. Coming in the number 6 spot is Grumpy Old Gamer 1983. What's going on, buddy? If you were born in 83, you're not old. You're not old. Yeah, I'm going to give you that one. Hey, 19K Fox. Hope our Cowboys can get it done this evening versus the hated 49ers. Absolutely. Looking forward to the stream, even if P-Dubs is doing his 1,000 subscriber giveaway show at the exact same time. Yes, I know. And I contributed to that giveaway. So it is what it is. There was no coordination, but I figured, I think he probably figured he's going to be on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Listen, at the end of the day, everybody has to get done what they're going to get done. You can't really worry about who's streaming when. As long as everybody can catch me on the replay, I'm good to go. And the fewer people that are here, I guess the closer and tighter we're all going to feel. We're just going to be able to snuggle, and you'll get to ask more questions, and I'll give more answers. Nonsensical, but I will give more answers. I'm giving answers. Some of y'all are giving super chats. Here's $5 from Kevin Clausen. Thank you so much, brother, for your $5 super chat. Glad to meet you. Kevin came up to me, and he's like, I don't think that Kevin thought I was going to believe who he was, so he broke out his ID, and he found out firsthand that I'm blind. I really couldn't see the name, but it was great to meet him, as well as many other people that are just, you've been staples in the community. You've been in the chat, and I love putting a face to the actual name. Kevin Clausen says, I can't, in good faith, watch tonight's stream. Not because of the 1K giveaway, but because of what you did with that Wolverine bucket at Diddy's party. Kevin, you swore you wouldn't talk about that. Thank you so much for $5 super chat. But for revealing my deepest, darkest secret, you know where you got to go. You're going to the pit.
Finish him. Molina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I'm sure he'll walk that off just fine. He's a big guy. He can take a fall like that. Coming in the number 7 spot is the best moderator in the biz, Jason Lillayland. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Happy Sunday. Glad to see you got back safely from South Carolina. Now, about the 4KP. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because, yeah, I got some thoughts, bro. I got some thoughts. Coming in the number 8 spot is JJ, aka Grumpy Old Gamer. So we have like a crossover. We got 83, and we got I guess you're the original. I don't know. P.S. Grumpy Old Gamer was a test of changing my name on chats. I'm still JJ from Texas. So what? So wait a minute. You violated the rules. You double commented. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so you're going to keep that spot, but I'm going to have to remove your number 8 selection. Thank you for being honest, though. We Texans, we're good people. So coming in the new number 8 spot is Milkman Classic. What's going on, buddy? Trick or treat. Milkman back in the top 10. Happy Sunday, Fox and chat. Go Commanders. They actually beat the Bears. That was crazy. I caught the very end of that. And, P-Dub's is a big Bears fan. And Bears came back, and I thought they had it. And just a Hail Mary pass, a total fluke. That was crazy. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. But I did need them to lose because my Cowboys are doing so bad. Looks like it's not in the cards for me this year. Between that and the Eagles, just not going to happen. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Coming in the number 9 spot is Zero Cool. Coming in just a little bit cooler than maybe he realizes. It's Sunday. It's football time. And, talking about this stuff too. And the final coveted number 10 spot is going to go to Nicholas Wasniewski. I was told to ask for your Princess Bride impressions from the guys trip to Pinball Expo. All right. This is P-Dub's favorite. Because you asked, Nicholas, I will provide. This is Prince Humperdinck. My father's final words were, love her as I loved her, and there will be joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. No, please stop. You're too kind. It's okay. I got to take a drink. I will continue to humiliate myself for the remainder of the show. I love the Princess Bride. Everybody else, thank you so much for being here. We got JR. We got Angelo P. Got to meet you at the expo. Thumper Squid is here. Andy's Game Room. Ted, Adam, Green, the man, the myth, legend, Gramps Arcade, David Z, Purple Doge 7? Doge 7? Dope 7? Sure, we'll go with that. James Milenoid with some things is also here. Mr. Clutch, Bob, my brother, my friend. How the boys doing? Good to see you. MG, the Mean Machine, Arcade Dave, 720. Eric is in the place. Tammy G, Miss G, how are you? Entertain us, Fox. I am here. Are you not entertained? I hope so. I'm talking real loud. And we all know that volume equals quality. The man, the myth, the legend, GRS, Glenn's Retro Show is in his house. Game on. Game on. FU size, baby. FU size. That's right. Build-a-cate size. That's what we're talking. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, sure. Nova Sonic is also here. Miss Martin Muses, thank you so much for your super thanks on my video the other day. I really appreciated that. Always a pleasure to have you here. Love having you swing by the chat for sure. MSU Rich, what's going on, buddy? Make sure Dane Brent. Yeah, sorry. I'm sure. I hope your recovery's doing fine. Maybe just switch the D and the B there. Hang in there, buddy. You'll be all right. Retro Hondo 67. And Panic Flip Gaming is also here. CGM. What's going on? Decadent Dave. I knew you were going to sneak in there. CGM. Is that different? That's no, it's the same acronym. There we go. Sorry, just kind of keep track. Chris Ford is also with us. Store KC. Odin's Dream. Orion's. Sure. We're going to go with that. Frank DR said, hi to you. Mike Hawkhurts is also here. Is that Orion's Dream? Yes. Okay. The N was confusing me. Orion's Dream. I got to think about things. I also have some drain damage, evidently. And, of course, Retro Roofer Chad in. What's going on, everybody? Let's go ahead and now this one we talked about what I'm drinking. Hope you like what you're drinking. Jump up there, answer that poll question. I really want to get a feel for where everybody's head's at. Is pinball the right way to go? I don't know. Who knows? But I do know one thing. Let's go ahead and slide into the first topic. Okay, a big video is going to come later on the week, but I want to go do a recap for everybody, for my loyal Sunday hanger-outers with me. Got to talk about some stuff that I learned because I'm very much a pinball novice. I talked about this on the channel before. This is my deep dive journey because I got a bunch of friends that are really into real pinball. I mean, these guys are really into it. And it turns out if you know how to play the game, you have more fun. Crazy, right? So my experience at the Pinball Expo was, first off, right off the bat, I got to hang out with my good friends, and we got to do really stupid things. Yes, the picture you saw on social media is real. We did this. We chose to do this. Nobody forced us. This was actually our choice. I know, and you may lose some respect for us, but that's okay. That's okay. We probably didn't deserve all that respect anyway. So that was a lot of fun hanging out with those guys. Our once-a-year trip did not really disappoint. The weather was spectacular. So the first day we got there in Chicago. If you went to Chicago, you know Tuesday was rough, cold, rainy, nasty, but the rest of it, the entire time, sunny, cool weather. It was absolutely beautiful. And we were all just as unstable as everything. But the first pinball thing that we did, because we got there, went to Galloping Ghost and all that, but the first pinball thing we did was actually before the expo. It was the first day of the expo. We got to sneak into Stern. I mean, what the hell were they thinking? They let us sneak in there and take a look at what was going on. Now, some of you were able to do the tour after us. I mean, I'm not even a pinball guy, so I just snuck in under the radar. They didn't even know. They didn't even know that I had no idea what was going on. But I was having a lot of fun. It was great to see the factory. Obviously, the offices are really cool. We got to take a look at the game room inside. Let me show you a quick little video of that. This was the game room in the back. And I was able to actually be one of the first ones to play the Metallica remake. And that was awesome. The two machines on the far left. Metallica was actually played pretty easy. I think the main thing is if you have a big target in the middle of the table or the middle of the play field, that's kind of my jam. I mean, the original Attack from Mars is something I really like. I like that game. And so this kind of felt like that in some way. Just basically shoot the target in the middle. And that's the way it goes. But it was a fun game. I really like the band, obviously. Probably I like AC/DC maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Metallica's got some absolute classics. But this is Pinball Alley in the back. Their little game room area where they, I guess, do the testing of some of the final products. And you'll see there's B Kong right there playing X-Men. I didn't get a chance to play X-Men. Well, no, I did. I played X-Men, I think, once back here. I played it a little bit later on at the expo and had much more success. But my initial impressions in this room was that Metallica was great. I didn't really like X-Men because the flippers were kind of off to one side. But this was really cool to get back there and kind of be, kind of behind the scenes and all that. This place was really pretty cool. If you look at some of the this area, go over here. I mean, just this table was sick. This was a great table. This is a really good table. So I enjoyed that. So Metallica was pretty fun. And that was great, and I think a lot of you the day after us got to do this. And but one thing that we were able to do was actually do a factory tour, and I want to show you a little bit of that. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Who's this Robert guy that you speak of? I'm definitely making the rounds for sure. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And hopefully, if you got to go to Stern, you had to check out the factory. Now, this was the playfield assembly area. I'm kind of going backwards. This is the end of the line. We're going to walk towards the front where they begin. This is where they end. And then we're going to end up where they start. Makes a lot of sense if you don't think about it. But you got the assembly, you got the playfield soldering. That was all like these big hood exhaust fans sucking up all the exhaust fumes when they were just soldering like crazy. This was some final assembly here. I guess they had this set up for us to see. That was cool to see all those pieces, all those brand new pieces just kind of come together. And one thing that is really kind of mind-blowing when you think about it for a company that's been around this long, there's no automation. There's no robots in this thing at all doing anything, not even packaging up and shipping. I mean, usually in packaging, you'll have some kind of a robotic palletizer or something. But none of that. This is all done by hand by a bunch of professionals, a bunch of people that I guess they love what they're doing because everybody was smiling. Maybe it was just because they knew cameras were on. And this was really cool. You don't know how tempted I was to just reach over there and just grab one of these Sentinel's heads, just kind of put it. I mean, they wouldn't. Come on, what's one? What's one? They wouldn't miss one Sentinel head. I mean, that'd be great, And then I could just kind of like the old Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time. I could just build my own arcade cabinet from parts that I stole, borrowed. Borrowed. So yeah, so that was really fun. I enjoyed the factory tour a lot. I'm in manufacturing. We build manufacturing facilities, and so I like looking at some of that. And I did expect, like I said, I did expect more automation. And this was something that the tour guide pointed out to us, is that there's no automation at all. It really is still very much a handmade product. You know, I mean, for the most part, all those pieces being assembled one by one, piece at a time. They even pointed out this big machine that drilled the holes in every playfield since Stern was built. I mean, it was like this big press that was like, you know, something out of World War II. You know, this machine's been around forever. It's one of those things that if it goes down, they're not really sure what they're going to do. I think that's when you will see automation. If that thing goes down, I can definitely see some kind of a CNC router coming in and having to do some of that work as far as a playfield is concerned. But other than that, yeah, not a lot of robots. No robots, no CNC computer controlled, really nothing. Everything is just done by hand, and it's so awesome to see all these workers doing this stuff. It was really pretty cool, kind of awesome, kind of blew me away. Almost as much as a $10 super chat from my brother Fatal J. Fatal, what's going on, buddy? Great to see you again, as always. You have opened me up to a new world, Fox. Great video on the largest arcade last week. Galloping Ghost is incredible. Fatal, if you ever go to Chicago, maybe me and you got to go one time, you got to check that place out. It's incredible. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat, brother. Really do appreciate it. You know what you're getting. I saved it special just for you. Here you go.
Can't you do any better? This is the Overlord!
So after this great tour where, no, I did not steal a Sentinel head, even though I really, really wanted to, we got to go to the actual expo, and I want to show you Stern's booth real quick. This was pretty cool. They obviously had the biggest presence at the convention. The whole end of almost the entire end of the convention center was all Stern. This was really cool to see all their latest and greatest stuff. Some old stuff. Iron Maiden was there. I say old, not that old. Of course, Jaws in all of its iterations, LEs and pros, and got to really spend some time playing X-Men with Michael B. And this was probably one of my better games for sure. But this is, it really is a very fun machine. Let me go ahead and play that again. It was, I think, Jaws, not so much for me. X-Men, I grew to love. Metallica was great. And I didn't get a chance to play Iron Maiden. As big as their booth was, as many tables as they had, it's kind of nuts. It's kind of wild to think that it was so packed. It was kind of hard to get in there and play any at all. But yeah, I actually had a really good time playing X-Men. That's second time. The first time, not so much. It was pretty rough. It was not pretty. It's pretty ugly. But you know what's not ugly? A super chat. This one is coming in at $4.99 for my brother Ezekiel, Chicago Retro Ranger. And once again, got to see my brother there. I always love coming to Chicago because I know I'm going to run into Ezekiel, and it's always great to see him. Hey, brother, just an honor to see you again. Hopefully you had a wonderful time here in Chicago. Cheers, brother. Absolutely cheers. I had a great time. It's always great to see you, my friend. You kind of got one of my favorite games held captive. We got to negotiate the surrender of a certain Alien versus Predator cabinet that you have, my friend. But that is a discussion for another time. Thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. $5 really comes in handy when you're trying to ward off alien invaders. Paul, you snuck in, didn't you, buddy? Good to see you. Real pinball is also hugely impractical for most people. And the first time you have a problem, good luck. Major PETA to fix. Pain in the arse to fix. Yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart for sure. But it's a great discussion to have. It really is sort of the pinnacle of home arcade as far as cost, I guess, authenticity too, and if you've got the benefit of having an arcade close to you that has a lot of pinball, that's the way that most people should enjoy this hobby. But we are a country of excess, to say the least, to say the least for sure. So that was Stern. Stern's presence was huge, and it was great. Of course, they're the biggest in the business. They have some of the best IPs kind of on lockdown. I did play John Wick several times. Damn, I wanted to like that. I really wanted to like that table. I really wanted to like it. I don't like it. I think that's kind of the consensus. I thought, because I'm not a great pinball player, I thought maybe it was just me. Nah, most of the people don't really like it, unfortunately. It is what it is. Oh, what can you do? So let's move on to now, as I'm beginning my my pinball journey, as my education. There's other companies out there. It's not just Stern. Jersey Jack had a great display. Obviously, they have Elton John. I played Guns N' Roses, which was really cool. And Toy Story, I tried to play. I didn't have you trying to fight people, for some of these machines. Just wasn't going to happen. But Guns N' Roses was good. It was good. We also played a Data East version over across the hall. Some of the older machines. That was another great time. Me and Mike B got to go over there and play some of that. But I'm standing in line here for Avatar, which is something that when I played with Mike B, I didn't really get to show off at all. My score kind of sucked. But the day before, I scored like 52 million points. It was one of those things you just started flowing. And I got a multi-ball. But you can see this table. I mean, listen, this is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this machine. Look at all that. It's just crazy. The light show is epic. It's wild. It really, really draws your eyes in. There's this lower playfield thing going on with the crab. You got like a mini game. You can see it in the middle there. So if the ball drops down, and you get in there and you got the flippers going, you can really rack up your score. The problem for me, I think, is that I just don't necessarily understand what I'm doing. Maybe at all. I don't know. Some of the games make a little more sense to me. Some of the games are more intuitive. And it's sort of easy to understand what's the next step. But some of these games, I just don't necessarily, because it's such a fast-paced game. Some of the older machines, the playfield wasn't as angled so aggressively, so it wasn't so fast-paced. When it's a fast-paced game, I really find myself just reacting. I catch the ball, try to hit a few shots, but sometimes I just end up just reacting, and I'm not exactly sure what the hell that I'm doing. But yeah, this is definitely a beautiful table for sure. I don't know. Me and Mike didn't when we got a chance to play that last day. I didn't really have the greatest time. Didn't have the best score for sure. Kind of just it wasn't as fun of an experience as when I played it the first time. But still, a gorgeous machine for sure. And if you're ever in a pinball bar or something, you definitely want to check it out. If you see this in your local arcade, give it a shot. It's pretty cool. Not a big fan of the movies, but the table was pretty good. So let's talk about it. Also, I wanted to do a little shout out to Spooky. That's another pinball company. They had one of my personal favorite as far as the looks go pinball machines. That was Looney Tunes with all the orange, everything. All the metal was like powder coated with this cool metallic orange that looked really good. Didn't get a chance to play it. I got to play Scooby-Doo, which is another Spooky table, and it was not a bad game, but you know what gets really, really old? All the little sound effects from the TV show being played over and over again. Every time you do anything, that got a little annoying. And then we played Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one that I think Mike B really likes, and it was okay. It was okay. I needed more time with the machine, and unfortunately, at the expo with all the people there, that's something tough to really to get, which is more time for sure. Let's talk about AtGames. Let's go ahead and do it. Fox, have you turned over a new leaf? Have you finally decided to give them a chance? Well, let's just take a look at their booth first. You can see the machines were there. Now, this was my first time walking up to a 4KP. The HD just really was a little bit weird. This felt more, especially since I just spent a lot of time with real machines, this felt more like a 3/4 scale version of a real machine. The proportions and everything seemed to be pretty right. But one thing that was not right, and you can see, let me just pause, boom. Let me pause the video right there. I'm using a 4K camera. So the side art on this, the fact that that's blurry, that's not my camera. That is, and when you look up, I know this was something that everybody was talking about. If you had some concerns about the Jurassic Park side art on the right-hand side specifically, those concerns are valid. It's very blurry. It looks like like they just paused the DVD and took a screenshot and used that as the image, tried to blow it up. It's just not crisp and it's not high definition at all, which is sad. Let me go ahead and hit play, which is sad when you consider the other side of the table, the other side of the machine. The green, there's way too much grass. There's way too much foliage on the front. It's just not, it doesn't make any sense really for all that. But yeah, it's just, I do love the logo in the center there, but there's just way too much foliage. You should have put some dinosaurs in there. Now, with somebody moving out of the way there, you can take a look at this side. We'll pause it just a second, and you can see it's a much better image on this side. I really think they should have either mirrored this image or use the same background and have different dinosaurs on the left and on the right. So you could have some velociraptors on the right, and you can keep, these two, you can keep the T-Rex and whatever the hell the other thing is, the spitting viper, whatever it is. You can keep these two on this side. Give me two different dinosaurs on the other side. Jurassic Park it out with the orange. The orange makes it stand out, especially against the green. So that's my one real complaint about just the way that it looks. The topper on this machine looks really good. I mean, it's exactly the type of topper they should have had. I mean, those gates going into Jurassic Park, and even the side, look, that doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. You got a big T-Rex on that side. Look at that topper. That's exactly what should have been there. Welcome to Jurassic Park, big T-Rex, all that. That was really cool. So that looked really good. But yeah, and then of course you can kind of see that there's something else going. Well, let me just back up for a second. You can see, I mean, out of those three, and give me your honest opinion, out of those three machines, which one would you buy if they were going to give you one? If they were just going to give you one of these machines, which one would it be? Let me know, because I'm still digging the Attack from Mars. I like it. But no, Cammy, the Peanuts machine looks really good. It is one thing I like about it. It looks so much different than the other machines. Like all the other machines are a little darker. There's a lot of green on most of the machines. The yellow stands out for sure. And I think it looks really good. I think it looks really good. I'm kind of disappointed in the topper. It's not a bad design, but just kind of a little bit disappointed in that topper. I'll be honest with you. But the side art, the yellow, I mean, it's very cool. And if you've got a family room, like a game room, but it's very much a family room, that's probably the way you want to go. I mean, come on, it's Charlie Brown, it's Snoopy. Attack from Mars. You still want Dino Dynasty? Really? Okay. All right. We got another Attack from Mars, Jurassic Park. Yeah, I mean, listen, besides the side art on the right side, that topper, dude, that topper looks really good. Okay, but you have one already? And keep the machine. Give me the money to buy the Rumor XL cab still coming this year. That's not part of the deal, Paul. Damn it, Paul. There was one problem that kind of plagued the AtGames booth early on, and that was this. It was the fact that they didn't update the machines before they got there. I guess they just shipped them brand new, and they didn't, I guess, pay for the Wi-Fi or didn't have access to the Wi-Fi there. And so you can see it was sitting at 1%. So the first day, there's another shot of the side art there. I don't know if you can see how blurry that is. But yeah, there was something going on. There's something going on that first day where they didn't have access to the internet. And so it was just sitting there. And somebody ended up, they had to use the Wi-Fi hotspot on their phone to try to get these machines updated to get rid of the lag. So yeah, it's that side is it's unfortunate, and it's kind of weird. It's not applied very well. I think that if you're going to focus on a scene from the movie, the part on the right hand side at the end of the movie where there's T-Rex and he's in the little atrium area, the gift shop area, and that banner falls down, that should have been basically the whole damn side of the cabinet, and then you could have the other dinosaurs kind of pushed into the background. But the big T-Rex, that should have been what you focused on. If you're going to try to take a scene from the movie, that's it. And then maybe on the other side, you could have had the gates, where everybody comes in. I don't know. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Yeah, somebody photoshopped that in like 5 minutes. It's good enough. It's good enough. It's close enough. So there's that. Now, there is one more thing I wanted to talk about before we talk about something brand new in the world of pinball. I don't want to ignore the homebrew area. There's a section in the expo where you have homebrew machines. These are not made by any of the big companies. These are literally homebrew. They're one-offs made by people, and people enter these into a contest. You can get a best of show and all that. There was some wild stuff. There was some gigantic, like massive machines, quite the opposite of what we're used to. Instead of shrinking them down, they're blowing them up. So these things were massive, had big buttons for the flippers and all that. And it was crazy. But there was one thing in particular I wanted to show you. So let's talk about this real quick. This is the homebrew area. You're going in there, a lot of different one-off machines. which is really cool to see people kind of taking a chance, building something and kind of bringing it to an expo. The machine I'm going to show you right now with the Borderlands, check this out. Yes, check out the play field. Do you notice something? So I don't know if that was pneumatics or hydraulics. I think it was probably linear actuators, electrical actuators. But you can see the play field goes up and down. And then as she's playing, look, it begins to twist left and right, like rolling left and right. That was pretty wild. Everybody was talking about this at the expo. Like, dude, you got to go check that out. That's crazy. I didn't get a chance to play it. I'm curious how that would radically change the play. What's the whole point of the whole thing tilting left and right? And maybe for me personally, I kind of thought of this as just like a tech demo. See, there it goes again, kind of going up, going down. I think that if you were able to move the play field and expose like different ramps or something, like maybe you had to lower the play field and now there's another ramp you can hit and you go down to a different level or area or something. Not sure of the application, but I thought that the tech was pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. Very smooth operating, moving up and down, tilting left and right. You could technically, if you do this right, you could even change the shape of the pinball machine and have a main play field with your flippers here, but you could also have a set of flippers over here, like 90 degrees, like on the left-hand side. The whole thing tilts that way, and now you're playing from that direction. It'd be crazy, be kind of nuts. It could be kind of like a multi-ball situation or something, where it's like instead of a multi-ball, you tilt and you go this way, and now you're playing from that side. It's just weird, you know. Maybe you're trying to play both angles at the same time. But that was pretty cool. That was pretty interesting. I like that. Yeah, full tilt. Full tilt. Why? Not sure. Like I said, the application is unknown, but I think it's a great tech demo for sure. You know, could there be a different? Could this be? I mean, if you're thinking about what's next, if you've been now, I've not been in pinball for a long time, but if you've been in pinball for a long time, you played these games. If you're looking for the next thing, the next gimmick, that could be it. Play fields that move up and down. It's like anything else. You develop the tech, and then it requires somebody with a real big imagination to really utilize that. We've got some pretty skilled people over at Stern making some of these tables. If they can use some of this technology, who knows what the application could be? I mean, who knows? Could there be a thing where half the playfield moves up and down and the other half stays stationary? We see some of these metamorphic tables or anamorphic or whatever it is. It's like a half and half, like where you have a mechanical playfield and then you have a like a V-pin, like a screen on the bottom. So it's half virtual and half real. It's kind of weird, but I think that there's a lot of experimentation because they're trying to do something different. They're trying to do something new. Is it all going to work out? I'm not exactly sure. Now let's talk about that new thing that we were trying to tell you about before we all left, the thing we were sworn to secrecy. But if you put 2 and 2 together, you kind of could figure it out. It is basically a 3/4 scale real pinball machine. So we were going back and forth. And oh, JR, what is your favorite pinball machine? The one that I had the most fun with there. I mean, I don't know. I really liked Metallica because it was pretty simple. Obviously, I've been able to score really high on Attack from Mars, the original. And I've been told, I cracked $1 billion on that. And then I had all my pinball snobs say, yeah, it's pretty easy to do. It's pretty easy to do, Fox. Great, thanks. So I like that. But multimorphic, thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Jason. Multimorphic. But my favorite game, the one that I had the most fun with, was if you're talking about new, it's probably Metallica. But I don't know. I like the AC/DC table too. I don't know, something. I don't score. I can't get a big score on that one. But I enjoy it. Avatar for that one game was really fun. The whole experience was kind of like, wow, what's going on? I got to play Stern Star Wars, so I haven't played that, but I think I played it maybe once or twice. That was there. I got to play that. But yeah, the biggest surprise for me was probably Metallica. I think just because nobody saw it, nobody knew what to expect. I thought it was pretty easy. I was happy that I got better at X-Men, so that was a lot better than I think my opinion changed on that for sure. But Metallica was really fun. I wish I could have more time with Metallica, but that's going to change. I'm sure that'll change over time. So let's talk about. Oh, okay. So he's ending his stream now. That's fine. That's cool. 4/5. 4/5 scale. We're going live. Oh, here we go. Great, gamer. I need all this this competition. Good seeing you there, buddy, for sure. Good seeing you there. Yeah, so let's talk about that new thing, the 3/4 scale real pinball. Now, we were concerned because right before we left, we heard that they weren't going to have a fully functional, prototype. So let's see what they had. So this is what they have. Let's take a look at the those of you that weren't able to go. This was their booth. You got some people from there's Peter there from formerly of New Wave Toys. You got a lot of Arcade 1-Up former employees there. And this is what they had. You look at the shape and you're thinking, well, that kind of reminds us of the Arcade 1-Up. It kind of reminded me of the Arcade 1-Up too, as far as the overall size. I think it was a little bit different, a little bit deeper. The back box is a little skinny. I think those proportions are kind of off. But I'm showing you basically all there is to show. If you just give it a second as I come around with the camera, you're going to see that there's absolutely nothing inside. Nothing at all. So what is there to comment about? I don't know. It's a little bit weird, but the thing that gets me is that one that gives me some optimism is like, okay, this is there have been a few pinball machines back in the day that were smaller. They were actual machines, real pinball. So these things have been around before. They've existed before, so that's fine. So there's not breaking new ground there necessarily. But it is maybe for someone who wants a real pinball machine but doesn't want to pay real pinball prices. But usually those people are going to want that IP or that brand or that specific play experience that they would have to try to mimic with their real machines. And of course, because this is Wonderland Amusements, this is going to be like an Alice in Wonderland. Anything that's kind of public domain, any kind of properties that are public domain, they're going to use. They're not going to really go after licenses at this time. So right off the bat, you've got the minus is going to be no licenses, which we know is it's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. You're going to have, you really have no play field to reference. So we don't really know exactly what they're going to do. How many ramps and how many rails and how many things are we going to be interacting with? We just don't know. And who's going to design this? I think there's a lot of companies out there that make solid pinball machines, but okay, for an example, I could probably build a machine, right? But how's it going to play? How's it going to function? You have the capabilities to physically build something, but then you got to have the expertise to make it fun. And that's the thing I think that I'm not seeing with them as of yet. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to support anybody that's going to try something new, come out with something different. And this could be really fun. I think it's really going to come down to they got to get a working prototype just as soon as possible. Get that working prototype, get it in the hands of a bunch of pinball fanatics, and get some real, honest, informed feedback. Have somebody play this. It's played a bunch of pinball. They're pretty good at pinball. They know what to look for. They know what they like, and they know what they don't like. And maybe, just maybe, if they can get a cooperative agreement, maybe have a collaboration with Stern or some of these other big companies to maybe partner and design a play field that's going to have a lot of the tried and true things that people love. I'm not going to be able to give them that feedback, but they're going to have to find people that are experts in the field, people that have done this, because it's one thing to build a machine. It's another thing to build a machine that people actually like and people actually want to play over and over again. Now, the price point is going to be about $1,000, or they say sub $1,000, which is good. But at the end of the day, just because you're comfortable with the price, and just because you're comfortable with the product, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the best, the best experience. So what's it going to be? I don't know yet. We just don't know enough yet. But I'm encouraged. I'm excited to see somebody take a chance. Will this pass, fail? Will it be a bust? Only time will tell. Okay, so moving on to the other topics we have for tonight. Enough about pinball. We'll cover some more pinball later on down the road in another time. Another long-form video where I can really talk about this stuff in excruciating detail. I know that may be painful. That may sound painful, but let me ease some of that. You know what's good? You know what's good for a burn? A little bit of ointment. You know what's good for a live stream, a super chat, $2. This one coming to us from Nick Madison. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Great to meet you at the expo. Oh, and he just said the same thing. Great meeting you at the expo, buddy. Thank you so much for meeting me and putting up with all my ridiculousness. We had some pretty good conversations, and Nick is a really, really good guy who is really busy doing a lot of stuff. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat, brother. Always appreciate the support. And can I find something? You know what? Here you go.
Hyper combo KO. Game's over. Time to call it quits.
Another fan of the show, David G, saw me at the Pinball Expo. He's like, buddy, I love the show, but you need to add some different some things. You know, the super chat shout outs. You got to add some different ones. You got to change it up a little bit. And he's right. He's right. So I got to work on that a little bit. Hopefully I can get some time. Hopefully schedules will slow down a little bit and I can spend a little more time on that. But right now we're going to move on to something else. I want to talk about the Unico board fix. Is it fixed? Knock on wood, maybe. If you were paying attention to the channel, I posted a video Friday, Saturday? Sure. I think it was Saturday, yesterday, about the Unico board fix. So for those of you who are unaware, if you bought your Unico 26-inch monitor back in the day, and you know, you had some problems, some issues, compatibility with some of the cabinets was not there. It just wasn't. Specifically for me, it was my Cruiser World cabinet. The Midway games had an issue with the bottom of the image being completely cut off, a lot of the image being cut off. And there was no way to resize that image with the old control board. Well, I got my 2 control boards in. I haven't done Outrun just yet, but I had to get Midway done. I did a video on that. Go check that video out. But it is for the most part fixed. I've had some other issues, or not issues. I've had a few questions in the comment section of that video asking me about resizing the image. I need to go back and do a follow-up video trying to address every single question that everybody has. I also want to check the HDMI protocols. I want to plug in some HDMI sources and see how it, you know, sizes all this stuff, right? Put a DVD player or a high definition gaming console, plug it in and see what does it do to the image, what happens. So I have much more testing to do, but I wanted to get that video out specifically answering the question, is it going to fix the Midway compatibility? And it absolutely did. What else did I have to say? So, oh yeah, moving forward though, I did confirm this with Unico. Moving forward, if you buy a 26-inch monitor from Unico, it is going to include the new boards. So no more old boards. Those are all gone. The last ones that had those pre-installed are gone. Now all monitors moving forward are going to have the new control board. So boom, there you go. Hopefully that helps out. If you had any other questions about that, check out the video. And then I am going to do probably another follow-up video answering some specific questions. Like I said, doing some more testing and trying some more things. They're supposed to send me their new 19-inch monitor, which is sorely needed. I did a review on that a while back, and that with all the 19-inch monitors out there that look really great, there's no reason for them to have that horrible 19-inch monitor with the bad viewing angles and all that. So if you got a new panel coming, I'm going to test that out, but I want to continue to test these things just to kind of get everybody as informed as possible. So ask questions if you want to, for sure. Okay, let's move on to GRS. Glenn had an announcement kind of going hand in hand with Unico. Let's talk about it. Glenn is driving forward with his full-size Build-A-Cade. And everybody's pretty excited about it. A fully customizable full-size arcade machine. And he was trying to get that 26-inch monitor. And he was going to go with Unico because they were the most affordable at the time. On his live stream, he did go ahead and let us know that there has been a development. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let Glenn talk about it. So here's a clip from that show. If you want to see if you want to get all the details about everything going on with this full-size Build-A-Cade, go over there and check out his live stream. He dropped a lot of knowledge, but this is a clip that I wanted to focus on right now.
Won't be the 26. The 26 was just going to be, I think, undoable because of shipping. At least 311 pounds. That's a lot. A Donkey Kong arcade cabinet is 211 pounds. So to make this thing take a 26-inch screen and keep everything in proportion, the weight was just way, way, way too much. And the cost of the Unico, they came down. They worked with us. I want to say they didn't. Unico did work with us, but it was still been a $125 premium just to use their screen of what we could have gotten. Even if we went with our own 27-inch, we had a 27-inch screen we could have used and did a 4:3 aspect ratio on it. But again, that would still have made the rotation even bigger, and the machine would have been even wider. And my guys had to rein me in on that one. So I relent that, you know, I fight for what I fight for. I fight for what I want and what I think you guys want. But there are times where you have to get other things, and to make this happen, sometimes you have to give things up. And I had to give up on that.
And so that's disappointing. So what we're going to have now is a 19-inch monitor, you know, and there's a lot of suppliers out there that can do that. And that should be good. Keep costs down. But Glenn touched on a lot of things. So they were trying to go with that 26-inch Unico monitor. And you can see he's doing different things.
It won't be the 26.
Pause that. So if you look at this image on his channel on the right-hand side, he's doing his live stream. He's talking about all the functionality. One of the things you can see, there's a circle. Glenn is trying to do something so trick and so cool that at first I was really disappointed that it wasn't going to be a 26-inch, but now I see where his head's at, and I'm digging it. He's going to have a button you push, and it's going to rotate the screen. So it's going to rotate from horizontal to vertical. Yeah. Hori to tape mode. And that's going to be pretty cool. So that circle around the monitor is a mechanism that's going to rotate automatically based on the game you're playing. That's incredible. So to maintain that functionality, to keep the size down, because that's what you're really talking about. You're not talking about just the monitor, but you're talking about the size of the mechanism he was going to have to use to make that rotating function. And he wanted that over the bigger monitor. So that's the way he went. So I get it. It's a damn shame that Unico couldn't come down on the price even more, but I don't know what it costs to make these things. I don't know what their bottom line is, but it's a damn shame that they couldn't really come together, because I think this was going to be a big order. I think Glenn was going to put together a big order, and that would have helped Unico too. So I wish these companies could work together. Try, maybe they did. Maybe they tried hard, and they just couldn't make it happen on this iteration of this cabinet. Maybe in the future, Glenn could have a 26-inch version. And to his point, he was talking like, hey, if you want to make a replica of a Donkey Kong cabinet, you're going to need that 19-inch. The 26-inch would have been too big. Everything would have been off. So unfortunately, we're not going to get the 26-inch. They're going to go with a 19, but there's going to be some trick stuff going on. So I think, while I was initially disappointed, I think I'm going to be okay, because that's kind of cool. That whole rotating mech is pretty awesome. So sad to see that it won't have a 26. It'll have a 19. I'm still interested to see how far this project goes, to see it moving forward, to see the changes and the things that gets announced, and who knows what changes could come. Maybe something else breaks and we do get the 26-inch version. I don't really know. But weight was an issue. Overall size was an issue, because he's got to flat pack this and ship it. So he's concerned about all that. So that's the latest and greatest on that. Sadly, no 26, but a 19, I don't think at the end of the day is really the end of the world. Okay, so moving on to the New Wave Toys announcement. A lot of stuff going on the past week and a half, so I got to catch up on this. This was something pretty cool, and it was we thought we were going to see New Wave Toys at the expo. They had said that, and I was excited, like, wow, because I've got the Black Hole pinball machine on pre-order. No, I know it's not playable, and they've heard that a lot. I've heard about that a lot. It's not playable. I still like it. I think it's cool. It's going to be something that's definitely different from my little mini arcade, my little diorama, whatever. But I heard that they were coming to Pinball Expo. I'm thinking, oh, maybe they have like a second one. Maybe they're doing another one. Maybe they're going to have a little, a little Attack from Mars. That'd be sick. That'd be awesome. Maybe I could swap it out. Maybe I can cancel this pre-order and get the other one. But that was not the case. They weren't there. They weren't able to make it. Kind of sucks. They were selling some of their products by another retailer that was there. But they did actually, and this is something I'm glad that they did. They went live on their channel. They didn't come on my show or somebody else's show and be a slave to that content creator. They decided to do it on their own, which is the best way to do it. These companies should do it this way. They can control 100% of the narrative of everything. And it's just a direct line to their product. So it's the right way to go. They did a quick little video and they did their announcement. And basically, this was the announcement. The Williams Bally license is secure. It is obtained. So they actually were able to lock down Bally Williams. And they had just an incredible backlog of pinball machines out there. It's that's a big one. That is a huge one. They also dropped some more stuff, some more knowledge, some more tidbits in there. The focus, the full playability is actually a goal for them in the future. That's something they're working towards. how much are you going to be able to get out of a 1/6 scale machine? I don't really know. This is the argument that I had before when I didn't really have a problem with the lack of playability on a 1/6 scale pinball machine. I mean, the fact that you just pull, I would have been fine with it just sitting there. But they added the little plunger you pull and the ball goes up and goes down. I didn't think that was the right way to go. I think if you want to have a little bit of playability, you can have the pull back the plunger, the ball goes in the play field, and you can smack the plungers back and forth, and maybe the ball can bounce around. But maybe hit a rail, maybe. But you're only gonna be able to do so much with something so small. So to have the attract mode is big for me. To be able to maybe they could take and actually pull the plunger, the ball goes in, and your flippers actuate, and you can actually tap the ball back and forth. But you're never gonna have full blown interaction with all these toys can't be shrunk down. All these targets and stuff are not going to be able to be accurately shrunk down to 1/6 scale and still be functional. That's a bridge too far, I think. And at the end of the day, I mean, how much time are you really going to spend playing these things? But they are talking about full playability. That's the goal. That's what they want to do. That means they're probably going to have to stick with simpler games, simpler tables, and that's fine as long as they're classics. I mean, and it's going to increase my knowledge and your knowledge of some of these older games and older machines, and having a representation of that in your little arcades on your shelf somewhere, I think is going to look really cool. So I'm excited about this. I did jump on the pre-sale, not the pre-sale, but the VIP access to a sale on their blacklight posters. They have their little 1/6 scale blacklight posters. I have some of those up on my little wall over here for my little miniature arcade. I have black lights in my arcade, so they really shine and pop when I'm playing. So yeah, I got a couple of those. They did bring back the DeLorean poster. They used to have a full-size version. I got the smaller one. I absolutely love that. It's got like the little sun in the background, the moon in the background. So that was really cool. So I got a couple of those. So that was good. And I guess the last thing is that they're going to look for these things to come out next year as far as the new tables, the new machines. Now, I think that's probably going to be when they're available to pre-order. These things take time. Once you pre-order, you're in for a wait. To get these things built takes a long time. So maybe 2025 we'll have real announcements. We'll have some mock-ups, maybe have a couple machines that we can actually try to pre-order. I thought that was pretty cool. So is that exciting? No, yes, no, maybe so. Console Gets voice to text was like, there is no way you meant Fox. Okay. Thanks, I guess. Fox, not the bad word. Oh, I see. I'm coming on the tail end of a conversation. Gotcha. Don't forget what, for God's sakes. Oh my God. What are you doing? What are we doing? I'm afraid. I don't even know. Kits, I swear. What the hell is going on? There's some funny stuff right there. So yeah, so I think that it's interesting. We'll see what that turns into. Is it something you're really into, or do you just want to see one more 1/6 scale arcade cabinets? I think the pinball machines are good, but I really don't want them to stray too far from what really put them on the map. And the last topic tonight is coming to us from the beautiful, the ever reliable Arcade 1Up. Oh man, Arcade 1Up. The thing that really my passion from you has been hot and cold. And I think we're getting cold again. This is not good. What up, Fox? Hey, Dubs, how you doing? Good to see you. Man, your Bears had Dallas Cowboys luck today. That sucked, man. Damn good game to watch, though. Damn good game to watch. Hey, easy. Calm down. Arcade 1Up is done up. I don't even know if they make arcades anymore. I think they just make gumball machines. It's sad. So the latest and greatest from Arcade 1Up is that they're actually canceling some of their pre-orders. So from what I can ascertain, James is mildly annoyed with some things, did a show on this, others in Reddit's. Basically, what's happened is all the people that pre-ordered their claw machine from Books A Million, the original leak, the original source of all this, as far as I can tell, those pre-orders have been canceled. And it looks like if you pre-order from Amazon or Best Buy, those pre-orders are good. But I noticed that none of those are available. If you go to the website, if you go to each website, they're not available. Usually when they sell out, I know on Best Buy, they'll say coming soon. But I don't know exactly what that means. And it's funny how all this sort of happened at the same time. So does that just mean they're completely out of stock? Because what I heard is that, and some other people were saying that Books A Million actually was using manufacturing issues or problems, citing that as a reason why those pre-orders have been canceled. And that does seem to contradict what we heard from James Hates Everything, who actually got in touch with RK1Up and said, no, everything's fine. Those pre-orders are not, I don't know. We don't know why. We have no idea. We don't know why those claw machines have been canceled. It's a mystery to us. I will say this. I didn't order the claw machine. Not interested. But I did think it was funny that if you go to the RK1Up website, sometimes you'll see all the retailers that have the product, and sometimes you don't, with direct links to that product. So you, right now, as far as the claw machine goes, when you click on, when you go to the RK1Up website, it just takes you to the Amazon. It just shows the Amazon link. It doesn't show Best Buy. It doesn't show Books A Million. I thought that was kind of odd. So what happened? Did Books A Million nefariously get a hold of this product before it was released or before it was going to be available, and they somehow, some way just created all this out of thin air? Or is it that, once again, RK1Up has managed to screw up a relationship with another retailer? I don't know. It's odd. It's odd, but it's probably par for the course when it comes to RK1Up. So I do feel bad for everybody who actually pre-ordered this claw machine and was excited about it. And oh, there it is. What? They canceled my pre-order? Yeah, it's just not good. It's not good. I feel sorry for everybody who actually pre-ordered this, and the pre-orders have been canceled for no reason whatsoever. It reminds me of the PlayStation debacle that we had just a month ago, 2 months ago. It's all very sad. It's all very sad. But what can you do? It seems to be a very tumultuous time for RK1Up. They don't have a lot of stuff coming out. They really don't have really much of anything coming out. And the stuff that they do have coming out is really not coming out at all, getting canceled, mired with controversy. I don't know. It's sad to see how the mighty have fallen. I really want them. And listen, I've never made it. I'm done with an RK1Up video. I've never been done with them. I made one I'm done video, but I was done with the pre-order process. Different subject. Listen, RK1Up, if you change course, if you radically change course and come out with something new and different and fun, you might get a lot of us back on board. And I'll be sitting back here patiently waiting. But as of right now, what they're doing, it's just not doing it for me. And I don't know. I don't think that it's really doing it for too many other people. But I think the claw machine is going to sell well. I think that the photo booth is going to sell well. And if that's all you want from RK1Up, well, then, hey, you should be happy. Oh, would you look at that?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Unfortunately, it is that time to go ahead and wrap it up. Everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel on this Sunday. Got to go watch my Cowboys win. I don't know. They're going to play the game at least, I think. Maybe, hopefully, knock on wood. For those of you that are members of this channel, you're going to be automatically redirected to the after show where we're going to watch the game, just like we did a couple weeks ago. We're going to watch this game. You're going to see me laugh and or cry, most likely cry. So, yeah, so if you're members, stay right here. You're going to be automatically redirected to that live stream. If you want to become a member, click the join button right now. It's only $5 a month. To become a member, you'll get access to after shows every single week, exclusive content, videos, behind-the-scenes stuff just for members only. But before we go, we got to talk about the poll question. Let's jump up here. Let's click on this. And thank you so much. 122 votes. Thanks, everybody, for taking the time to vote in the poll. Go ahead and end that poll right now. And let's go ahead and do this. All right. Let me download that for later. Okay, so coming in the number 4 spot, you had 4 options. The question was, should pinball be home arcade's focus? Coming in last place with 13% is no, I want more multicades. Uh-oh, that's not good for people buying or building multicades. Coming in the number 3 spot is no, I want more 3/4 scale arcade cabinets with 21%. Okay, so now, so is it a yes? Is it a no? What came in the number 1 spot? Coming in the number 1 spot with 35% of the vote is no, I want more XL size arcade cabinets. That means that yes came in the number 2. So 35% no, I want more XLs. 29% yes, I think pinball is the right direction to go. So it's not exactly a total loss. About a third of you think, hey, yeah, focus on pinball. But for the rest of us out there, for the rest of you out there, you think maybe there's other things that they should be focusing on for sure. XL seems to be the way to go. If only we had some people making some XLs. I think we do. I think we do. Everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel, hanging out with me. I'm going to go watch the Cowboys. I may laugh. I may cry. I don't know. Members are going to check that out. Everybody else, y'all don't work too hard. You have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. And I will see all of you right back here next time. Peace.